back down to the drop step, to the baseline. So I figured he would sit on it, thinking that I would try it again. Just trying to make it tough on him. The kid is special, and obviously that's the reason he's first-time All-Star. He's been special all year. So down the stretch, we put KC.
Ooh, Rachel, it's tough, and this is a debate that could go on for a lifetime. But I gotta put King James at that number. He had the best finals comeback in NBA history, down 3-1. That's why I have to put LeBron James at the #1 spot of a champion in Rudy T. But listen, I got to go with Isaiah Thomas.
Ooh.
I don't know what it is about what people, the personal beef that they have with Isaiah. But listen.
On that front, you use terms like bigger than basketball and NBA being a brotherhood. What goes through your mind when you see Bill Russell, Mr. Celtic, wearing
Burke, it was such a great moment because he's like, I hate him, but he's the second best point guard of all time behind Magic.
LeBron, you've been doing a lot of either driving Jalen to the hoop or backing him in. Is there a certain thing you're looking for before you go to the turnaround, and have you thought about that before actually doing it in the final possession there on the shot?
Yeah, for sure. I have been setting them up all night with the, back down to the drop step, to the baseline. So I figured he would sit on it, thinking that I would try it again. So went to my back down and gave a little dream shake to the baseline and was able to open up middle and get my fadeaway.
Tatum had clearly been giving you guys problems as a team. What were you able to do down the stretch there to cause a couple turnovers and change it over?
Just trying to make it tough on him. The kid is special, and obviously that's the reason he's first-time All-Star. He's been special all year. So down the stretch, we put KC on him as a designated defender, but he had 8 eyes behind him. He had 4 guys with 8 eyes on him, just trying to help him talk, communicate, just trying to make it tough on the kid. But he was special all night.
What were you feeling when you went to the floor there in the second
half? I didn't have much breath left. Got the wind knocked out of me. It's been a while since that happened.
LeBron, to get this win on this stage against that team, from a kind of mental, emotional standpoint, how does that pick you guys up, or can it pick you up?
Every game is its own challenge, and we knew that it was going to be a playoff type of atmosphere today. 1, because of the rivalry. 2, because of how well they played against us in Boston. They beat the hell out of us there. And then 3, just on the simple fact, there's 2 teams that has aspirations of holding that trophy up at the end of the season. So, we knew what we were getting ourselves into. They knew what they were getting themselves into, and it was a great game for both teams.
LeBron, because you guys have been so successful this season, sometimes it's easy to forget that this is a pretty new group to one another, new coaching staff, new players, a lot. Are these types of games really valuable to be, like you said, playoff type atmosphere, have the final minute really matter, and does it tell you anything about this group? The way you guys handle it?
Every experience is a teaching lesson for us. Like you said, having a new group and having a new coach staff, a new system in place, and every game is another experience for us to get better and use this opportunity to get us better along the way. So today was a tough challenge for us. Understanding how pretty much that group has been together for years now. They've had that system in there in place, and for us to come and just play the game that we played today, no matter what was going on the floor, we just stuck with our guns and stuck with our game plan, and was able to execute down the stretch offensively and defensively, so to allow us to get the win. Just respect. That's all. That was the first thing that went through my mind. Just respect. At the end of the day, both teams, throughout the years, we're gonna battle, fight, and push, scratch, curse each other out. But at the end of the day, when you give it all to the floor, you have that mutual respect, and that's what it all boils down to.
You talk about every game being its own teaching lesson. Is the regular season different for you when it is a new group? I mean, do you need it more than you do when you've been together for a few years?
You always need the regular season, no matter if you've been together for a few years or not. That's just a simple fact of it. I mean, you have to build habits. You can't rely on a previous year going into the following year. That's cheating the game. That's disrespectful to the game and disrespectful to the process. So if you know anything about me, I'm all about the process. Every year out, and you want to get better with it, no matter if you're a new group or you're a group that's been together for years.
Are there certain areas you like to see your guys keep evolving offensively against some of the better defenses like Boston had before the playoffs start?
Just continue to move the ball, share the ball, get the ball popping. You know, we don't have to rely on, you know, myself or AD, you know, trying to bail us out, which we haven't done a lot lately. But, you know, we know that we have two guys that can go get a bucket, you know, or at least get a good look at it. But, you know, it's always better when the defense can't key on just one person. So, you know, KCP made some big shots today. You know, AD caught a pocket pass and was able to swing it to the corner to KCP. He knocked one down. Dwight was good, as he's been of late. You know, Rondo was great. AC, Kuz is great. Everybody who came in. So I'm just trying to keep the defense off balance when you have a full lineup out there.
Last two questions, please.
Tomorrow's going to be obviously a very emotional day for all of basketball. The Kobe Memorial, they're calling it a celebration of life. I think they're trying to look at it that way. What do you hope is celebrated about Kobe's life tomorrow?
I've talked about it, man. You know, it's been a celebration ever since we got the horrific news about his life and what he means to the game, but I don't want to keep going back on it. I think it's unfair and it's unjust to his family as they trying to move on. We're all trying to move on, but also know that, you know, he's with us. His jersey's sitting in my locker right now, but it just puts me in a difficult mind state when I continue to harp on it. I'm trying to, you can respect that.
Sure.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube.
Anything that has stood out so far from, you know, around the league today?
I think it was, you know, the big question about the season so far. You know, we're going to talk about teams, expectations, playoffs, who's going to be at the top and all that type of stuff. But the individual storyline to me is LeBron James. And I know a lot of people will say, oh, big surprise, here we go. Talking about LeBron, but the fact that he can actually have that record, which in his own words says is the ultimate record any player can have, becoming #1 in the all-time scoring in NBA history. To me, that's really exciting and fun to see year 20 for someone that's about to turn 38, and it feels like he's just getting started.
Me too, Chene. I found LeBron James' storyline about him approaching the scoring title exciting, and during media day they asked him, has he been thinking about it? And he said, well, when I see it on social media, this is not just a LeBron James thing.
Yeah.
It's going to be his entire team. It's a league-wide story. It's going to be a countdown through the season. There's going to be a sneaker drop. There's going to be a documentary. Like, I'm serious. This is really a team record that they approach, and it'll be interesting to see how the league, LeBron, his teammates, everybody, the Lakers approach it.
Well, and it's not just the greatness and what he's chasing. It's also that they're coming off a very underperforming season. So all eyes are going to be how the Lakers can handle that. So LeBron James was with our Dave McMenamin. Here you go.
LeBron, you've done this now 20 times. Media day before an NBA season. What have you thought about the accumulation, now 2 decades in the game, and what you want to accomplish this year personally?
No, I haven't. You know, I'm a guy that's always kind of like live in the moment, but what I want to accomplish this season is, you know, for us to continue to grow as a team every day. You know, we put our hard hats on, get on this floor right here, our practice court, and put the work in. And when you put the work in, you get results. So, you know, looking forward for the process and what comes out of that.
I wasn't planning to ask this question, but seeing the Lakers #6 with the new Bill Russell patch, it's striking.
Yeah.
Obviously, I was there on the court after Game 7. Bill Russell shared a moment with you in Golden State. What was it like for you to process losing Mr. Russell and just the symmetry with both #6?
I think, you know, for me being a part of the NBA community and in this brotherhood and sisterhood that we have here, for us to lose such an icon, it was it's heartbreaking for all of us. I mean, no matter if you played the game, watched the game, or a part of the game, we all know what Bill Russell meant to the NBA, obviously to the Celtics, off the floor as well, you know, as far as his heroism and things that he did off the floor and what he meant to, you know, us black people, you know, being able to speak about issues that, you know, just are not comfortable, you know, and he did it in a time where it wasn't comfortable for the majority, you know, and so, you know, for me to be able to, you know, wear the 6, you know, this season, I'm not sure if I will continue to do it, but right now I'm gonna wear it in honor of him. You know, it means a lot to me, and I'm happy to be a part of such a great league that represents so many great.
All right, we have breaking news on NBA today. The NBA and the NBPA announced today that they will honor the life and legacy of 11-time NBA champion and civil rights pioneer Bill Russell by permanently retiring his uniform #6 throughout the league. NBA Commissioner Adam Silver released this statement. Bill Russell's unparalleled success on the court and in pioneering civil rights activism deserve to be honored in a unique and historic way. Permanently retiring his #6 across every NBA team ensures that Bill's transcendent career will always be recognized. Okay, Matt, let's start with you. What's your initial reaction to the NBA doing this?
Great. I mean, he's a pioneer. You know, what he did on the court speaks for itself, but also what he did off the court for the movement of black players in particular and just the black movement overall. So I think this is a great move, similar, as we spoke off camera, similar to a Jackie Robinson-ish move for the
Whose
NBA.
number is retired in Major League Baseball.
So I love the move.
Yeah, I think it only makes sense, right? We've talked for the past couple weeks since Bill passed away about his impact on the sport. You mentioned all the work he did in civil rights and standing up for, advancing all of America in a lot of different ways. And you see here on the board here, we've got the various players around the league who are wearing number 6, obviously most notably LeBron James. And if you go back to, as you mentioned, Matt, with Jackie Robinson in baseball, Mariano Rivera wore the number 42 until the mid-2010s when he retired. So I expect that there will be a similar thing here with the NBA, where guys will be able to wear that number until they retire. Then after that,
these players are going to be grandfathered in. They'll be able to wear this number as long as they want. But after these players who currently wear number 6, there will be no other player who wears.
And that's really how it should be. Like Matt said, I mean, Bill Russell is, in many ways, you could argue the most important player in the history of the league for what he did and getting the league off the ground, and it's very well deserving honor.
And I think the next step is to do what Major League Baseball does. We do a Jackie Robinson Day where everybody wears the number 42. I'd love to see a Bill Russell Day, and every team that's playing that day is wearing that number 6 there.
Be very cool.
Let's just skip right to the top 5 because I know that's what you want. Irvin Magic Johnson coming in ranked as the 5th best player in NBA history. He, of course, earned 3 MVPs, 5 titles. Next, you've got 11-time NBA champ. I know the two of you know Bill Russell, ranked 4th, earned 5 MVPs over his career, and, of course, 11 All-NBA teams. The league's scoring champ, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, ranked 3rd by this panel. He won 6 titles and a record 6 MVPs, 6. And then at number 2, they have ranked LeBron James 2nd overall, the only active player in the top 10. LeBron, of course, a 4-time MVP and has won 3 NBA titles. And at number 1, Michael Jeffrey Jordan. You know him, you love him, you watch him every Sunday night, taking the honors as the best player in the history of the league. 6 titles, 6 MVPs, and I could just spend the next half hour listing off Michael Jordan's accolades. But Kendrick, that's an esteemed list. Do you buy LeBron as the 2nd best player all time? Is he in the right spot?
Ooh, Rachel, it's tough. And this is a debate that could go on for a lifetime. But I got to put King James at that number 1 spot. I mean, if you look at LeBron. Yeah, Pete, and if you look at the body of work that LeBron James put over, not only through his NBA career, but since in high school, I haven't seen a guy that played at that level in my lifetime. And when you talk about LeBron James, a guy whose career average is 27 points, 7.5 rebounds, 7.5 assists, and he's shooting 50% from the field for a career. And when you look at LeBron James and you talk about what he's done in his NBA career, yes, he's won 3 NBA championships, 4-time MVP, 3 times final MVP. But guess what, Pete? Over 50% of his career he spent in the NBA Finals. That speaks volumes. And to me, LeBron is the best all-around player I've ever seen. And so I'm going to give you a quick story, you and Rachel. When you look back when Bron left the Cavs, the owner, Dan Gilbert, wrote a story about LeBron. Put out a letter about LeBron James saying, oh, he's a Benedict owner. He killed LeBron. And what LeBron did, he won 2 titles in Miami. He came back to Cleveland. He put his pride aside because he knew it was more about the fans, and he owed it to the state of Ohio, and he delivered. He delivered a championship in great fashion. He beat a 72-9 Golden State Warriors team, who's arguably one of the best teams in NBA history. And then guess what else he did? He had the best finals comeback in NBA history, down 3-1. That's why I have to put LeBron James at the number 1 spot. I'm sorry.
Yeah, he's definitely had some great performance, and he's not done yet, but it's hard for me to put him there until his career ends. I have to wait and see. But, Perk, I got Kareem at number 2, Jordan Ives number 1, because, if you look at his body of work, the guy is 6-time MVP, 5-time champion, NBA's leading scorer. He not only did it in the pros, but if we talking about just overall basketball, you want to see what he did in college? Yeah, he got 3 of those in college too. National Player of the Years. Come on. You want to talk about that? Come on, this guy, he's arguably, the greatest, but I got Jordan for his record, 6-0, 6 MVPs, 6 finals MVPs. Kareem only has 2 final MVPs, so I got to put Kareem there. But at the end of the day also, you threw out stats. I heard you throw out stats. So, when we talk about the greatest, is this about accomplishments or about stats? Because Kareem has the stats. Now, if you want to talk about championships and rings, what about Bill Russell? 11 of them, Perk. And 5 MVPs. He don't have the stats LeBron got, but definitely the accolades. So, I'll push LeBron a little bit further down the line because of that. But he still has a lot of body of work to go. We'll see.
By the way, all the viewers out there are saying, of course Paul Pierce isn't giving LeBron the #2 spot. And they're saying, of course Kendrick Perkins is giving LeBron the #1 spot. You guys definitely have your positions staked out. I do know that Michael Jordan hasn't had the last word either because, of course, we're going to see more from him on Sunday night. I want to get back to the rest of the top 10 that ESPN.com has put together, though, guys, because Wilt Chamberlain, Larry Bird, Tim Duncan, Kobe Bryant, and Shaq round out the top 10 all-time players according to ESPN.com's NBA writers. So, Paul, who is the best player left out of this top 10 list and why?
That's a tough list, but I got to go with the dream. Hakeem Olajuwon, yes, folks, Hakeem Olajuwon. And he doesn't get enough credit, even though he won his 2 championships when Jordan retired. Check this out. He is the only player in NBA history to win MVP, Defensive Player of the Year, and Finals MVP in the same year. No one else in NBA history has done that in the same year. So yes, Hakeem Olajuwon is the one player that stands out to me that is not in the top 10. And you look at all these players who accomplished so much. No one has ever accomplished that feat.
Hey, P, listen, I'm right there with you. I got to give the dream his flowers. I'm a Texas native. I grew up watching Hakeem Olajuwon, Clutch City. Never underestimate the heart of a champion in Rudy T. But listen, I got to go with Isaiah Thomas. I don't know what it is about the personal beef that they have with Isaiah. But listen, when you think Isaiah Thomas, he beat Magic. He beat Bird. He beat Jordan. He beat all those guys to win the championship. And in my opinion, he's the greatest little man to ever play the game of basketball. And we heard it on the Last Dance documentary. Michael Jordan himself said that Isaiah Thomas is the 2nd greatest point guard of all time. So with that speaks volumes. So, I'm starting the campaign. Hey, free Zeke. Free Zeke. Free Zeke.
Burke, it was such a great moment because he's like, I hate him, but he's the 2nd best point guard of all time behind Magic.
Icons, and obviously this guy is such an icon both on and off the floor.
Speaking of the NBA community, you took time to express your opinion of the way the NBA handled the Robert Sarver investigation and subsequent punishment. And you expressed your disappointment in the way it was handled. Is your disappointment at the same level now, having seen the steps that have followed in terms of sponsors dropping their association with the Suns and Robert Sarver deciding he will find a new buyer?
I believe the NBA always gets it right, and it's not about how you start, it's about how you finish. And I've voiced my opinion about things that I feel strongly about, and it's great to see that the steps that was made after that fact, and there will be a new owner in Phoenix. There'll be a new ownership group, whoever that may be. We shall see, but just like in my tweet, it's still up. If you need to go back and look at it, there's no place in our game for the things that that came out about that gentleman, and I wish him the best in his recovery. But as far as our game and our league, looking forward to seeing what new ownership group comes in.
You were tweeting, or I guess you shared on the shop that you're getting up in the middle of the night on your vacation in the Maldives to watch NBA playoff games. You were also tweeting during games. Missed it, obviously. It was only the 4th time in your career that you weren't in the postseason. How did that taste or feeling of missing it affect how you approach this offseason?
It's a feeling that I don't like. It's a taste that I don't like. But I love the game, and that's why I watched every game. I literally was waking up at 2 o'clock in the morning, when I was on vacation, and getting up and watching every single game that was on that day, and then training right after, and it's just very motivating, but I'm looking forward to this season and getting this team and getting this franchise back in a position to be in the postseason and compete for what we all want to compete for. But, starts on day one. We're here, thinking about the season now, talking to you guys, which is always great, especially you, Dave. And then we get on the floor and put the time in. So I look forward to that.
2 more quick ones. This is your 5th year in LA, 4 years in Miami, 4 years with Cleveland, the second stint around.
Yeah.
I mean, you are really putting in inroads here, and obviously extended in the offseason. Yeah. What can you do to make this Laker partnership as great as you maybe envisioned it when you came here?
To continue to be a great role model. First of all, off the floor, represent this franchise with the utmost loyalty and respect. How I carry myself both on the floor and off the floor, and then show up to work and get it done. And the one thing that every franchise that I've played for, the 3 franchises I played for, they never had to question if I was going to be prepared. If I was going to come in and put my hard hat on and work as hard as I can and lead. And I will continue.